Gentlemen, we're not supposed to be here.
This is a closed course.
Welcome to Close Course, presented by Pins and Aces, where the mic is open and the drinks are cold. This is the spot where golf meets good company. Athletes, artists, reality stars, and the pros who live on the greens. From tee boxes to tour buses, from green rooms to greens, we're asking the questions you won't hear anywhere else. We talk sports, we talk life, we talk everything in between. No scorecards, no pressure, just good vibes and stories that'll make you laugh, think, and maybe even grab your clubs. So let's tee it up and let it fly. And we are back with another episode of your favorite golf podcast, Close Course. I'm your host, Blake Corson, here with the whole squad today. We got
Eric,
Liam,
Nick,
and today we have a very special guest, very good friend of us, the pod, Bachelor legend, and a hell of a golfer as well. Ben Higgins, welcome to the pod, man.
Guys, this is the setup. I like it in here. I feel like I just hang out for a couple hours and just kick it in here.
we got drinks, we got food, anything you need.
I love it.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
a heck of a setup. But you've been friends with Pins and Aces for a while, and let's talk about the old collab we got going on here. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, this is really exciting for Generous.
just one tease here on the pod, not the full collection, but yeah, talk about it. 'Cause
Little
it's cool.
tease.
Yeah,
fuck
this
that
is
up,
a piece of a group of magical items that you will be able to receive. It's a collaboration between Generous Coffee, which is a company that I work for, and Pins and Aces. Right here, you have an official name. What do you call this?
A valuables pouch.
A valuables pouch. If you got a good close look on it, it has this kind of hidden really cool coffee bean on it. Obviously, Generous is a coffee company. We donate 100% of our profits to nonprofits, and so Pins and Aces also really cares about some organizations around Denver and Colorado, really across the U.S. And so we thought, let's develop and design some cool products, sell them.
Oh, hold it to that camera.
Hold it up.
Oh,
There you go. There you go.
and try to make a big difference in the world through some stuff that I think people really love, use, and also enjoy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So, I mean, kind of the backstory of it is Ben came in, I think maybe through you or through Eric. I mean, but he's known about Pins. Funny story is when I started Pins and Aces in 2018. I don't know when you were on The Bachelor. I was like, oh, he's in Denver, and we were watching The Bachelor. Like, you guys know, I like the trash reality. Bachelor in Paradise is my favorite show. But they changed the format. Anyways, I digress.
I digress.
I DM'd Ben with 1,000 followers, and I'm like, bro, we should golf. Let me get you some pins. Obviously, when you got 1 million followers, you don't see everything. And so, yeah, it's funny. We should pull it up and see when I
I
sent
would say
it.
you should check the DM.
Yeah, from Pins. But then, it's a few years later, we get connected with Blake and Eric. Ben comes in because he's going on a golf trip with
Yeah, I
his
think
boys.
I brought him in for the all the head
Yeah.
covers. Yeah, for the
And he
back.
got a head cover for all his boys, which was cool, for his golf tournament down in or golf trip in Indiana. And then he was telling us about Generous, and I'm like, we should do something and give back and have a little collection, a little collab with it. We like these type of deals, working with local brands and giving back. So we've got the valuables pouch, I think a hoodie. The hoodie's awesome. Some ball markers. Did we do a polo too, Evan? Yeah. Yeah, it's that pattern. It's the coffee bean. So it's cool. So that's dropping here. Well, hopefully when this is live,
there
should
you
be
go.
available on the site.
Yeah.
As well as Generous Coffee is doing a breakfast ball blend for Pins and Aces. You can't play around a golf in the morning without some Generous coffee.
Yeah.
or
you
a
know?
breakfast ball. You
Or
can't
breakfast
start.
ball.
You
You
can't
got-
start
yeah,
on that one
exactly.
ball.
You gotta.
Exactly.
I mean, Eric and Liam are all too familiar with the breakfast ball. So,
We're having
I never
breakfast
played.
ball.
Breakfast, lunch, dinner, ball.
We're having brunch up there.
yeah.
I found the DMs, Nick.
Nick
Yeah.
got
When
a-
was it?
It
Nick
was
got a little aggressive in
May
the-
23rd, 2020.
Okay, so 5 years ago.
No, man, use the code Higgins for a $200 gift card.
There we go.
Hey.
Does it still work?
If I need to turn that off. And then you DM'd him 2 more times. No
Yeah.
response.
Man, my bad.
left
That's
on
too
red.
bad.
No response.
Red.
But we did get connected, and I'm really excited for this. I think it's the perfect package. And Eric did come up with the breakfast ball blend name. We got to give him a shout out for that.
Shout out to Eric for the name. It's a good
It is
name.
a great name.
It's a good name.
It is really good.
But yeah, man. So you've been busy lately. I know you've been golfing a lot, but let's talk about you're a new dad.
I'm a new dad. I'm a new dad.
How's that been going?
It's incredible. It's harder to golf, not because like it I think in some situations it's different than mine. Jessica knows, my wife knows that me golfing and getting out on the course is something that I love to do and that makes me a happier human. But I've been traveling so much that when I'm home, it's hard to get out and golf because I don't want to leave this little girl anymore. She's growing so fast. She's going to be 8 months old in 2 days. In fact, this weekend will be my first dad's weekend only with her. Jessica's going on a little trip, so
I just had mine.
Yeah, I'm full. Like Jessica makes it look so easy.
Yeah.
And there's so many like little things that she just has down at this point. I know I'm going to get a list. I know I'm going to get a schedule. I know I'm going to get all these things that I need to do.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for it, but I'm very much preparing for it. Like I am like focused. I need to crush this so that she feels like she can do it again at some point.
It's kind of a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure. Yeah, it shouldn't be that hard. I see this girl, all the time. I just don't keep her alive like Jessica does. Yeah.
You're going to get the list too, and I'm sure Blake knows because I know. You're going to get the list. You're still going to text her like 2 hours after she leaves. Like, wait, what do I do here? Like, what's going on right now?
Yeah. It's been a blast, though. It really is so much fun. It's been the good part about Winona, which is my daughter's name, is since the moment she was born, she slept. So the lack of sleep thing is not an issue in our house. She is a 12-hour a night sleeper at this point. Really has been for the last 5 months. And so sleep is not the issue. The only issue is she's so active during the day that like I come home or I'm at my desk and I get up from my desk at the end of the day and I'm like exhausted. And then she's just ready to party for the next like 3 hours and just move and go. So that's the only thing that's really exhausting. But I'm loving every second.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We have no idea what's being said on the side of the table.
Yeah, me and Eric are just sitting there like, yeah, sounds tough, man.
Liam was
brutal.
close, but
Not true. Not true.
I might be a little behind the scenes on a podcast these days when you have the power hour.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, that's funny too because I mean, is Jessica like very regimented? Like, does she follow a schedule? Like, feed at this hour, sleep at this hour? Because when we had our kids, we had no sleep issues either, and it was, if they're not tired, it's still nap time. Yeah. If it's not like dinner time, they're still eating, and you keep them on the schedule. And
there's a book that Jessica followed.
I know
called.
I know what you're talking about.
Goodness, I forget the name. My wife is not very regimented in any other part of her life. But when Winona came into the world, all of a sudden, we became a very regimented household. Like we do. We have the times of sleep, the times of feeding. There's like play times, like when she's supposed to be stimulated and not stimulated. It's a whole, like I said, it's a whole science that like I just kind of participate in. I feel like I'm like I've explained it like I'm a bench player. I'm just waiting to get called into the game when the time's right. Yeah. Other than that, I'm just sitting there watching the game be played, and then mostly I get called in to like get to play. My life is like really fun. I don't have to do any of the too much of the dirty work. I think that includes parenting, but she's still breastfeeding, so that's that's a big reason for
it.
We're the opposite. We are. Heath is not on the schedule at all. He just eats when he wants, sleeps when he wants, whatever. And I think a lot of that is because me and G have the same job, so we travel together with him. So he's on the road with us all the time. So obviously it's a little different with you. So like we go to a hotel, we can't just like lay him on the bed at we're 4 hour different time change. And it's like it's your bedtime. It's like it's really not. So yeah, we're completely different in that aspect. But I did want to ask you, and honestly, Nikki too. When are you gonna put? I mean, you're going to put Winona in golf, I'm guessing. Yeah. When are you going to put the golf club in her hand?
She already has one.
Does she?
Oh, yeah. We've been working on her hip turn. She's not crawling yet.
Yeah.
But I get her to stand up, and I move the hips a little bit. That is not a lie.
That's great.
She has this like little foam golf club and a golf ball. And the best is like she has really over the last like month started like hit things, and so she takes this golf club with one arm and just hits this ball Like, and I'm like, this is a prodigy. Like, she's good.
That's my retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I want her to play so bad. It's like going to be something probably really annoying to her, and she's going to end up hating the game. But like, I very much like can't wait for the day that we're on the course together. That is like something that excites me.
Yeah. That's. I mean, for me, it's like I have 3 girls and a boy, so the girls like didn't take too much interest in it. And for me, I was kind of like my dad played a lot of golf, and I didn't really get into it until like middle school, and it always felt like forced. I just wanted to go catch frogs in the stream, you know. And so, but my parents and my dad was like, do whatever you want. Like, I just want you to like it, you know, and not force it down your throat. And so, and other kids I grew up with, like junior golf prodigies, they were like forced and they hated it. So I think you just gotta let them. You know, you kind of give him the club and you do that. And my son's really into it. He's now got a metal club. He's 3, but he's total chaos. He's wild. He's like, do you remember the Wild Thornberries, that show, like as we were a kid? Yeah. And there's that like little feral kid that runs around. That's like my son. And he'll run around. He's in like Taekwondo and he hits everything and wants to do like a hi-ya move. And so he takes his club and he swings it just wherever. Like he has no regard for anyone behind him, in front of him, which is cool. He loves golf, but you just kind of let him do their thing.
I was similar to you. I kind of got into golf a little later. But actually, I think in my family, I mean, we also have like little plastic golf clubs for Heath, but I think it's going to be G that pushes him into golf because she does not want him to play football. She does not want him to play any kind of violent sport. You know what I mean? So I think she's the one that's going to push him towards golf, which would be good, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think he'll also play a lot of football as well.
I just got back a day and a half ago, and I had from an epic
And weren't you a Wingfoot?
trip. Yeah. And
Oh yeah, I saw that.
there was this little girl on the range at we played the country club in Brookline too, and she was so tiny. She had this pink little bag. Her dad was hitting balls, and she had her bag set up, and she was hitting balls too. And then like 5 golf balls later, she gets tired, and she goes and sits on this bench below this tree, and she's just swinging her legs and cheering her dad on. And I was like watching this, knowing my daughter was a couple thousand miles away, and just like so emotional. I was like, I cannot wait for this day. I can't wait to have my little girl in her pink bag out there swinging golf balls and then just getting tired and taking a break and drinking lemonade under a tree. That seems like the perfect life.
Literally, it's a good day. So let's talk about it a little bit. You just got done playing a little ball with City Cruises, correct?
Yeah, well, so Wells Adams, Chris Harrison, and I are doing this like tour right now with City Cruises. It's a dinner cruise. That is in most cities with water. So it's like what you think of. Like we were just in New York, and like usually they do a dinner cruise to the Statue of Liberty and the Ellis Island and then back. But they just have a new executive. His name's Mike Flasky. He used to be the CEO of Diamond Resorts, which started this LPGA Pro-Am in Orlando years ago. And he's really an expert in bringing in experiences to whatever business he's running. So one of the experiences is a bachelor night. And so we just kind of do like this, like a talk show. We get a lot of Q&As, but we did Boston and New York, and we had a day in between. And so we flew in a day early. We played the International in Boston with Taylor Twillman, who got second this year in Tahoe, second or third. I forget how he finished. He's a stick. And then we did the show that night in Boston, woke up the next morning, played the country club at Brookline, which is insane. Obviously, the history, the greatest game ever played. You have, Francis Oumet's house like right across the street still. So much history there. Flew that night to New York City, woke up in the morning, played Wingfoot, did the show that night, and then flew back. So it was like we never sat down for a meal. It was like golf, show, flight. But it was epic. I mean, we played 2 of the, U.S. Open host courses in the last 10 years in like a 3-day period. Wingfoot's spectacular. That place is host the U.S. Open in 2028, and they could host a U.S. Open tomorrow. They have
36 holes. There's 2 courses.
How'd you play?
Not bad. I went 81 at the International. Brookline, the country club, was so hard for me. It's like one of those visually, everything's everything, there's mounds in front of you, and it's like hit the ball over here, but if you never played it, you're like, that looks like it's a 5-yard fairway.
Yeah.
So I shot an 89 there, and then an 81 at Wingfoot. I had 4 birdies, 5 doubles. It was an up and down round of just like great shots and terrible shots. But I think when you play good courses like that, it exposes parts of your game.
Yeah.
So you get in the rough. Like I said, if they got called and they said, hey, next week you have to host the U.S. Open, it would be ready. They'd grow the rough up. The fairways don't shrink for the U.S. Open. The green speeds really don't change, they were saying. It's just the rough grows up. So if you're in the rough, like there's just no getting out of it. Like it's just hack it and try to save par. It was incredible. It was special.
So I know you, Chris, and Wells can get a little competitive, to say the least. I was with Wells at Ryder Cup a couple weeks ago, and he was talking about how you guys can get pretty. So who won? Who had the best?
So we did a 3-day match. We put $200 in the line every day. We had a $20 payout each for the low score of the day. And then after 3 rounds, we had a combined score winner. After day 1, I was up 2 on Wells, 5 on Chris. Then Chris tanks it back, and I'm up 2 on Wells after day 2. And 2 on Chris. He came back and won the second
match
day.
going
Tight match.
Won in the final.
I start out the first 7 holes at Winged Foot, 1 over. Just crushing these dudes. Like, absolutely, they have no chance. Then I fall back a little bit. It comes down. I had an eagle putt on 16 to pretty much close out the match. Missed it, made birdie. Went up 1 on Wells, tied 17, went into 18. We both hit it left in the trees. He hits it into the left bunker green side. I have to kind of hit out of the trees. I get up on the green. I'm going to make 2-putt for bogey. And I'm like, there's no way he's making par. He was short-sided at Winged Foot to a pin, and he gets up and down for par. Wells and I, after 3 days, tied.
Oh, wow.
We tied. We walk off the course tied. Chris wasn't playing great at Winged Foot. It was kind of beaten.
I feel like he's got to be playing. Well, Wells plays a lot of golf, but I feel like Chris is that. What does he? I feel like he must play a lot of golf.
He said he hasn't been.
Really?
Yeah, he said he hasn't been. Chris is a great golfer. I mean, he just plays this little baby draw. He's not super long, and so that he's sometimes hitting hybrids in. And I think that kind of hurts at a course like that.
Winged Foot's a cut course too.
Yeah.
Gotta play cut.
Have you played Winged Foot?
Yeah, well, I have. I got a funny story for it. I think I told you about it when I was there a couple months ago with MJ's group.
Yeah.
It's a special place, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I played it like 5 years ago, and it's the same thing. Like, you play good, but if you make a mistake, you short side, it's like you're playing for bogey and try not to double.
Yeah.
And that can just like happen so quickly, at Winged Foot. But did you take, first of all, the clubhouse there is crazy. Like, the locker rooms, they haven't changed them since like 1920. Like,
awesome.
it's all old school, like rickety high school vibes. Like, the old metal lockers, and you go upstairs, there's a locker room, and downstairs, tiny little staircase to get up. Did you take a shower at Brookline or Winged Foot?
I didn't. No, they did at Brookline.
Yeah.
But you're right. The locker rooms, we rated like our best experiences after the 3-day trip, and the country clubs locker rooms with the metal lockers ranked number 1. You walk into that place, you're like this, like Palmer, Nicholas, Jones, Matt Harden, all those guys have had to walk into the same room, and it hasn't changed. It's awesome.
Yeah. And the thing, so I went on a trip a couple months ago, and we played Friar's Head, which is out. There's so many courses like Friar's Head, Shinnecock, National, all these courses out on like the Hamptons. And Friar's Head is probably harder to get into than Augusta. Like, it's crazy difficult to play there. There's like 150 members, 9th best course in the world. It's crazy. But like everything in New York is all about the showers. And when I was going with this group, they're like, you have to shower at these places. I'm like, why? What's the big deal?
It's kind of weird.
And I go in,
It's a questionable group.
yeah. I'm like, all right. And
You hadn't really met this group either.
Never.
That's the
Like, never.
initiation.
I played like one round of golf with this guy, and it's a long, funny story, but so back in like the 30s and 40s, when they started getting like more running water, they had a water shortage in New York, and the like gallons per minute was throttled in like all the apartments, all the homes. So it was like a slow drip shower. But country clubs, like really exclusive, nice ones, were immune from the regulations of the showers. So they're pumping out like, I think Friar's Head was like 75 gallons a minute or something. It was crazy. Winged Foot was like 50. So it's like you get in there and it's just, it like the water pushes you. It's like an amazing experience to shower because it's so heavy. Like the water is just like, it is unbelievable. So I asked, because I had never heard of like the shower thing, but everyone I talked to who's played out there, like, did you take a shower?
Yeah.
So
I didn't. I
that's
wish
the
I would have.
story. Yeah.
I wish I would
You
have.
wouldn't know. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a good
you
story.
wouldn't know,
You'd have no
you know?
idea.
I wish
So-
I would have. I had to watch the greatest game I ever played though. As soon as I got back, just
Oh,
to, like,
yeah.
just to like remember that those 18 holes. There's just places like that are so historical in the game that like you walk out and you're kind of in awe. It's like it's a very sacred experience as a golfer. To know, the Ryder Cup, obviously, with Justin Leonard hitting the putt on 17 or 16 to close the Ryder Cup out, and those like goofy shirts.
Love those shirts
that have like
With
the pictures.
Yeah, the picture frame shirt.
Yeah,
The
like
red-
that happened at the country club. So
Yeah.
I just remember watching that and being fired up, and now I'm getting to play it.
Yeah, for sure. When I was there a couple months ago, we played those courses, and then we went to Winged Foot and finished it. And it is a absolute monsoon. And I'm like, we could still play. Like, I want to play Winged Foot. I played it once before, and I'm like, I think we can get out. We got umbrellas, we got rain gear. And he's like, yeah, I think, there's a few people going out or whatever, but we're going to hold off right now. Like 5 minutes later, I think it was like 9 green or 8, like, kind of dips down and then goes back up. It's literally like 4 feet of water. And then all the greens are getting flooded. And I'm like, we're not playing Winged Foot today.
Oh man.
So it was still cool. I mean, because I played it before. You got to do all that stuff. We were getting ready. And then they have this really cool simulator across the parking lot on like the back side of Winged Foot, where it's like a little members lounge. They have like 4 simulator bays, a full bar, restaurant. And so like everyone that was scheduled to play there was playing like this big game in the simulator. So it was still pretty fun. We did that for a few hours, but it's not playing Winged Foot.
Still
Yeah.
simulator.
Playing
I'm sure you struggled too if it was simulator golf.
Yeah.
You are not good at
I'm
simulator
not good at
golf.
simulator golf. Yeah, I was playing. I can't remember this guy, but a lot of old money in New York.
Yeah.
And these guys have been members since their great grandpas were members and their kids are members. So, but yeah, it was cool. It was cool.
Hey guys, Liam from Pins and Aces here. Just wanted to say thank you for watching one of our first episodes with Ben Higgins. Make sure you use the code CLOSECOURSE at pinsandaces.com. Save 20% off anything. As well, we just dropped our Generous Coffee collab, so use the code GENEROUS at checkout. First 25 people who use that code are going to get a free bag of coffee. So go ahead, use that code, and back to the episode. Ben, for the people who don't know, you want to just give a little background on like how you became kind of who you are. I'm not a big reality TV guy. Nick is. He's known you clearly on the DM
2020
for a long time. But just kind of
How
how
do
you
I
got
know that
into
wasn't you
world.
messaging me?
That wasn't me.
Yeah.
It wasn't me. I was like,
Liam was in the womb
I was in high school.
2020.
No, I was in college.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Blake and I kind of have a similar, at least background start here. I moved out to Denver from Indiana for a software job. So I was working up in like Golden for a software company right out of college. And I didn't know anybody out here. I actually met Eric during this time.
course you did.
We were
Yeah,
kind of
everyone
like,
knows Eric.
yeah, everybody knows Eric. We were like bellying up to the same bar often, Tappenberger, Highland Tappenberger.
Oh yeah.
And that was really my like only place of friendship for like the first year and a half of being out here. I wasn't dating really. I wasn't going out with friends. And then one of the ladies that was working with me was like, told me all those things, just reminded me, hey, you don't really have any friends and you're not dating and you work this job where I'm writing user manuals in the basement of the software company. She's like, this doesn't like fit you. I love this show. Would you come up like stairs with me and sign up for it? And I was like, honestly, yeah, like that sounds fun. That sounds like a mix up in life. And then they called, and I mean, there really isn't.
The show was The Bachelor?
The Bachelorette at that point.
Bachelorette, yeah.
And
What season was that?
Caitlin Bristows.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
And so, it kind of like happens like that. Like you sign up and then they call you and they like ask you a bunch of questions and they ask if you're dating and, long story short, they kind of disappeared for 2 months. And so I didn't know what happened. And during that time, I blew out my knee playing pickup basketball at DU and had surgery. And then they called and they're like, hey, can you come out to LA next week? Well, they called me the day after my knee surgery. I was like, I don't want to miss this opportunity. If they're calling me to come out to LA, that must mean like something is happening here. So I got on a plane and crutched my way into into the like interview process, which is a wild experience for a guy who has no like entertainment background, who literally is like at this point in my life so sad Like I'm just like in this basement all the time, like grinding away with a blown knee. You walk into a room of like 20 people that just start grilling you with questions and asking you about your history and your life. And they're like asking you weird questions. Like, would you rather make out with your dad or grandma or something like that? It was like a really weird.
Yeah, they asked some weird.
Yeah, like some stuff that was like, what is happening? But I do think me crutching my way in helped because I think I stood out. They're like, this poor guy, I feel bad for him. And then it was about 2 weeks after that I should have and to LA for the show. That
So
was
they called you back and were like, "Yeah, you're
I'm
in."
confused. Are your knee was busted during the show? Like,
so I was like a month out of knee surgery. Yeah. This luckily this was my second time, and so they just had removed all the old hardware, and they hadn't put a new ACL in. So it was like a quicker, like it was a bone recovery. It was like a bone healing more than anything else. But it's also, if you watch that season, why you don't see me doing anything like active.
yeah.
They were like very cautious about the fact that like my knee is like really busted. But they never really talked about it. And so they that was a weird season where there was 2 bachelorettes on night 1. And so and we don't know who the bachelorette's going to be. So they have us in like this hotel room in LA. They like fly us out. You get in a black car. You feel like a freaking star. And you show up to the Sheraton right by the airport. And
Fancy.
yeah, super fancy. And then I was laying in bed and they're like, you need to watch tonight's episode of The Bachelor. It's the final, or it's like the live show. You're going to find out who your bachelorette's going to be for tomorrow's starting of filming. So I'm like watching it and they're like, there's going to be 2. What? Like this could be fun and weird. And then we like voted on who stays or who goes. So that started it. And then I went through the whole process of the Bachelorette and did my thing. And then they asked me to be the Bachelor. And that's about 3 months after the Bachelorette is done filming. You start filming the Bachelor. So I was the Bachelor. And then I came back out here and I kept working for 2 more years. Just because I didn't know in software, because I didn't know what this whole show would do. And obviously now I'm
not doing something.
not doing software. I'm not writing user manuals anymore.
What happened on your season when you were the Bachelor?
You know, that was, I think the most iconic moment was I told 2 people at the very end I love them.
And that was unheard of then.
Yeah.
Now it's normal.
Now it's like every year that's like increasing.
Wasn't it
4.
JoJo?
Yes,
And
JoJo
Lauren?
ended up being the Bachelorette.
Yeah, she married Jordan Rogers, or they're still engaged or something. Right?
They have a baby on the way.
Yeah.
Other than that, like there isn't a lot of like memorable moments. I think what worked was the show's in a really bad place coming into really Caitlin's season. It was kind of where it's at right now, where people are like, I don't really like it anymore. But what I think like I had going for me is I'm from Indiana. So like Middle America, which is the demo for the show, was like, I like this guy because I know this guy. Like this is my neighbor. This is the guy, that goes to my high school. He's who we are familiar with. And so after Caitlin's season did really well. And then my Bachelor season did really well. But I think it was a relatability factor more than anything else. It wasn't like the shock and awe that maybe you see in reality television today. It was like a very like normal process of a guy crying a lot, trying to figure out how to date 30 people at once and being overwhelmed the whole time. But I was 26 years old. So like I was young trying to figure out how to do this thing.
Perfect Ben.
That is crazy.
Yeah, that was the
I remember
tagline.
That was the tagline.
Yeah,
Perfect
an
Ben.
epic failure.
Perfect
Like
Ben.
nothing
Perfect Ben.
could.
Plus,
Like-
he was relatable. He's in where were you at? Like a pool with JoJo, and had a massive boner on television.
Really?
Oh, that's one of the
I knew he
greatest
was gonna
photos of all
Yeah,
time.
it's his favorite.
I knew it. It's his favorite
Yeah,
thing
It's
of
the
ever.
course.
background of Eric's phone.
It is. I think we put it on shirts for your bachelor party, maybe.
Yeah. There's a thing about the show that like you can't judge for. You're a 26-year-old person dating 30 incredible people for 3 months of your life. And there's just like a lot going on inside your body at the end of 3 months. Like you're just like really restricted. And there's always a camera around. And here's what the show did back then for me. I'm an only child. I'm a pretty big introvert. Get pretty overwhelmed easily with like big crowds or like too much social gathering. They hired this handler to literally be in my room all the time. And then I'd like get in the shower, a place that you think like hey, that'd be a good reprieve from the mess that is the show. And he would just sit out there and talk to me the whole time. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, like, dude, you're driving me crazy. Like, they're trying to get you to break. And I did. I broke finally on that poor guy. He was getting paid, I think, to
Break you.
To break
me.
it. Yeah.
But also you're getting filmed. That's going to be on national television. But you forget that, and you're like, what am I supposed to do? What am I like? How do you expect me to walk through this process? Like, this is more your problem than mine. Like, you're the ones having to watch this thing go down.
Yeah.
And then you're the weirdos that are going to put it as the background to my season. Mm-hmm. When like it
was like the preview. Right?
Yeah, it's the preview every week, and you're like, goodness gracious, guys! Like, my grandma's watching this.
So we always talk, and I don't know if we've talked about it, Blake, but like when I watch it with my wife, we haven't watched it it's different now. I think it's, we watched it a lot. Obviously, your season with Blake. I'm always like, this is not real life. Like, these are like incredible dates you're going on, except for that one in COVID, and they took her like their best one was South Dakota, like Deadwood. Yeah, I'm like, they really skimped on the budget for this season, because all the other ones you're going to like Paris and Rome,
Well, it's
Italy.
Your
and
date with Becca was like Vegas and fireworks. wasn't
Vegas
it?
fireworks here on top of the roof. I had T-Mobile Arena had my name and Becca's name on it. I went to the Maldives and stuff.
Yeah, but that's not real life. And then the show over, camera's gone, and you're like, in 3 months, I'm supposed to propose to somebody, and I was dating her with 30 other people. Like, isn't that like why no one's taking? You didn't marry someone from The Bachelor. You didn't marry someone. It's not like you get out back into reality and like, is this gonna work? It doesn't, right?
Well, it has.
For a few people.
I mean,
guess.
Paradise actually has better.
I was going to say the
a
show
better-
itself has a terrible.
What I always say is like, it's definitely real life to the point like we're still like real people and we're not like characters. Like, everybody kind of looks at us as like characters and we're not real, but we are. And like I would say when people ask, like, it's like if you see us crying, you see us laughing, like that's real, but it might be edited in a way that like we might be laughing at something else, but they edit it so it looks like we're laughing at this. So we're crying, but we're actually crying 3 days before, but they put it here. So that's the only part that's like not real to me. But the rest of it, you'd be shocked at how even quote unquote the bubble, like it's real. The feelings are real. At least they were for me, pretty much.
Oh yeah. I mean, The Bachelorette is more like a frat house. So like that's just a blast.
It is fun.
And then it starts to get more serious at the end. But like for 75% of the season, you are living with your friends in a house and not paying for anything and flying across the world, and like
Yeah, that's fun.
it is just a blast. It is so much fun, especially if you have a season full of some like good dudes. You can really just have a good time. And then there isn't any like cell phones, there's no computers, there's no TV, and so you're just talking all the time. And so you get to know the people pretty well. You get to know yourself a lot better. When you're The Bachelor, it's a little bit more of a job. Like, you're waking up, going on dates, and then you're usually doing like press for 2 hours in the afternoon for whatever, and then you're going on another date that night. You're waking up the next morning and doing it over and over and over again. That becomes more. I actually felt like that was less real life than what The Bachelorette was, because I was such in like a focused mode of what do I need to do? How do I need to accomplish this? How can I be the best I can possibly be for whatever thing's in front of me? And then just let me go to sleep. I'm done. But I just talked about this on the cruise ship. I look back on that, and for me, I never felt like it wasn't real. Even as The Bachelor, like as this whole thing ended, and I had JoJo and Lauren standing there in front of me, I was like, goodness, how am I supposed to decide? Like, again, just not to like, just keep going back to this. I was a software salesman writing user manuals in a basement in Denver. And 6 months later, I find myself dating 30 incredible people at one time and then having to decide between two incredible people. And I was like, I don't know how to do this. Like, so it was very real. You just kind of go through it the best you can. I think the show doesn't work oftentimes because of expectations of who the people are when you're on the show. I think they make The Bachelor way cooler than he really is in real life.
Mm-hmm.
She was coming back to a guy making $37,000 a year, living in a really small little place, trying to figure out how to pay his bills. Like, that isn't what you enter into. And then you also have to watch this whole season back, and you see the person that you're with dating other people and expressing feelings for other people. And I just don't think that's healthy.
No.
But recently, the show has had a better track record Because honestly, I don't know if you agree with this, but because it's less popular, it's getting less pressure on them afterwards to talk about stuff and to go to all these events and to go to all this press tours and do all these things. And I think that's actually healthier for the relationship because once the show is done airing, these couples now just kind of get to go back to real life and get to know each other again. And I think that's why the show's working more today than it maybe did in the past.
Did you get to pick who you went on a date with, or does the show say like you're going? Because there's like drama is leading up to like here's the 2-on-1s, right? And it's like they're obviously pushing those, but like if you're really into somebody, are you like I want to go with her because I'm in the Maldives? I want to go with her, or they're like nope, you're going with her? Do they kind of schedule that?
It's no, they don't, I mean kind of both. So.
You have input, I guess.
Yeah,
on like who
so
you get
like
to take
on
out.
a Saturday, let's say, they would say, okay, next week we're gonna be in the Maldives. Or for me, it was like Vegas, Mexico City, Warsaw, Indiana. I didn't exactly like crush it when it came to travel. But and they would say, okay, we're gonna be there next week. Here's the 4 dates that are gonna be done in this place. And you'd say, okay, I want to bring JoJo on this date because I know she likes this kind of thing. I'm gonna bring Ashley on this date because I know she likes this kind of thing. And then they'd be like, hey, you just brought Ashley on the one-on-one last week. And I'm like, oh, yeah, but that feels like a year ago to me. But they're like, in viewership world, that's going to be you bringing her on 2 one-on-ones back-to-back episodes. That's probably not a good look. So who else could you bring there? And so you kind of like need their assistance on like making sure visually for the
It's a
audience.
television show at the end
Yeah,
of the day.
it doesn't look like you're just absolutely like only paying attention to one person. But you do get a lot of input. You also like one day I think I went on a fishing date and I was like, I want to bring her on the fishing date. They're like, she's super allergic to fish. I'm like, that's not a good idea. Okay. I didn't know that. Thank
be
you
good
for telling
TV.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Thank
would.
you for telling me. I had no clue. So that's that kind of stuff. It's collaborative, but I did always feel like I had a say. Towards the end, I think most of my meetings on a Saturday, we'd always have a meeting. I gave up and I was like, I don't care what happens this week. Just like plan the dates for me. Tell me how I'm going on. I'm so tired. I'm so like, there's 4 of them left. We're all going to go on a date like at some point. So just you guys figure it out.
I'll say too, like, and I've said this multiple times. I stand by it, and I've never been the lead of it. I was kind of the lead of Paradise in a weird way, but I've never been the lead of a show. But like, it is the hardest role in television, in my opinion. For 3 months, I mean, mentally, physically, like I've seen it. Like, I made it all the way on Becca's season. Like, I saw what she was going through, and like I know a lot of the leads. Like, it is the hardest role in television, in my opinion, for 3 months.
It's
insane.
And you don't have any prep. I think that's the thing. Like, if you had like media training, or if you had like. Nobody really gave me insight into what it was going to be like to be a lead of a show and then come off of that show. And you said it, the tagline for my season was the perfect Ben. And I was like, that's the worst tagline ever. Like
Setting you up for failure.
Yeah, I'm going to fail. And so then you come off of the show and they're like, you're not perfect. How do you feel about that? You're like, I know. Like, I never said I was. That wasn't my idea. And so then you get
Not perfect.
Yeah, the scrutiny. And you're not prepared for that. It's not healthy. I had somebody tell me back then, people in life are going to throw stones at your feet and they're going to throw roses at your feet. Don't pick up either. But back then I was picking up everything. And I was like, I need to internalize all these things. And it just beats you up.
What about last Bachelor question? First episode, and you were on, when you're there, one, you pick out what's all the weird, like someone comes in on a horse, someone had, they
I came
tell
in
you
on
to,
an
like
ox.
Yeah. They tell you to.
On an ox?
I wrote in on a big ass.
Whose
ox.
idea was
Yeah,
that?
how do they do that?
That was their idea.
And
play on
so
the name.
they're putting these in front of
No.
people, like of
Yeah,
this.
yeah. I just needed to. I remember because I brought a horse on after the final rose. I came up with a horse, and she had just been dumped. So I like put her back on the horse and back up on the horse. It was like a whole thing. So then they were like, "You got to stick with animals." And they were like, "We can get you an ox." I was like, "Okay." Never touched an ox before.
Goodness gracious.
So then that first episode, you don't know all these girls' names. Do you have like a little earpiece to say like, who, and are they telling you to get rid of these people and you got to keep this one, even though you don't want them? There's maybe like a DEI or a drama person or like, hey, we got to have these people. I'm serious. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's
That's
no
a good
way
question.
he knows
Yeah.
after night. Like he
I've been
might
asked
say,
that so many
I
times.
really like Lauren or JoJo. Like these have to stay.
Yeah.
But then I don't know. You pick them.
Yeah, well, this just reminded me. I haven't thought about this. Since you said that, they on night 1 wanted me. They were going to bring this big old ice block out, and they will give me like an ice pick, and they wanted me to jump out of the car and like start ice picking this ice block and look up and be like, "Here, I'm here to break the ice."
That's actually not bad.
But the problem was I was so nervous that we're like driving there, and I'm like, guys, I can't do it. Not because like I don't like feel like I could or should. It's like I don't trust myself with an ice pick right now. Like I'm shaking so bad that like I'm blacking out. Like the worst possible thing you could give me is something sharp. Anyways,
That's funny.
okay, so there's 2 weeks, I remember, 2 episodes, which is like a week, 8 days long of filming that I didn't know everybody's names. Mm-hmm. And you don't. And you do your best. You can. Like, you are in awkward situations a lot where you're just praying that, like, none of the girls look at you and be like, what's my name?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, because if they did, you'd be like,
Can you imagine?
yeah.
I don't know.
I do not know.
Oh.
But you are very pretty. Yeah. But luckily I got away with that. But there was 2 weeks where they give you like note cards with everybody's picture and name and like some facts and like just doing the best I can.
Studying
Them at night. During the rose ceremony, I was never really told to keep somebody or not keep somebody. The way they kind of get around that is like if there's somebody on the season that's causing all sorts of trouble, I would have never seen it. So I would only see the good parts. And so you're kind of oblivious to it. And so maybe I'd be like, all right, I'm going to get rid of this person. And they're like, she really cares about you. Like, in the first week and a half or 2 weeks of the show, you're like, oh, that's all I'm looking for is somebody that wants to be here. So cool, keep her. Who doesn't want to be here, guys? And then you get up there and they give you the list of names that you've picked and you start going through them rows by rows. But they tell you, hey, if you run into a bind, if you forget who's next, like they say, if you for us could do 5 names at one time, that would be so good for us. But if you do 2 and you forget, 3 if you forget, just leave. Like say you need a break and walk out, and there was a room right behind where the rose ceremony is at, and they would have that list sitting there, and you go back and be like, okay, here's who's next.
Yeah, but you still have to remember them. There's no earpiece in telling you. You still have to. There's 30 people. Night 1, you're cutting what, 10?
Yeah, and you have to do them in order because of how the cameras are set up. So like, there's a camera focused on the person you're giving the rose to next, and so you have to do them in order for the show. But they would love, I think, for you to mess up. Mm-hmm. Actually, the host of the show today, Jesse Palmer, famously messed up and called the wrong girl's name, and she came down, and he's like, "Oh, I meant her."
Yeah.
They would love for you to. It's good television, but for the first 2 weeks, it does just kind of feel like survival because you're just talking a ton, trying to remember names, trying to like not, at least for me, like show like, hey, I'm actually like a broke dude back home. Like you're just trying to like be like, no, I'm the Bachelor. You're trying to fill that role. But there's no earpiece ever. I don't think I ever had an earpiece.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
The host does.
Yeah.
Lucky for them.
I'm so bad with names.
Oh, me too.
I would be terrible.
I meet someone, I'm like, immediately, I forgot your name.
Yeah, I would have been terrible.
Yeah.
Oh god,
I'm bad at
That
it.
would have been a disaster. Would have been really bad. Well, we talked about golf a little bit, but you mind if we do a segment presented by the Pins and Aces Transfusion?
Not at all.
Have you had one of these yet?
No.
We'll get you some of these.
Thank you.
But it's called First Swing. So just how did you get into golf?
When my parents started playing in their 20s once they got married. And then when I was born, it was still something they loved to do together. So I go out with them. And then my grandfather, my mom's dad, was a big golfer. And I grew up, I just remember, and I mean, he was probably like an 8 to 10 handicap at his best. But I always thought it was super cool because in their basement, he was a big car collector and like memorabilia collector. But then he would have this like case full of everything he's won in like golf scrambles or whatever. And back as a kid, when your grandfather comes home with a brand new like trophy, you know, you're like, oh my gosh, he's the coolest dude in the world. Like what a rock star. And so I would just love to play with him. And I think I thought he was like a professional golfer growing up. And so we'd play a lot together and I'd always love it. And then I really stopped after in middle school and early high school, got into football, basketball. And then when I blew out my knee my first time, I went back to golf and joined the golf team as a junior in high school. And really have never stopped since then. It wasn't, I don't think, until like my mid 20s that I started to like really become like a sicko with golf. Like where it was what I think about. I have dreams about golf. I spend all my money on golf. Like it wasn't until then, because I think other like competitive avenues have like gone away and they're not exactly smart for me to participate in. And then like a good walk, you know, in the course with your buddies, like it's a way to bring friends together again. It's a way to just spend a good afternoon. So I would say actually in the last 3 years, I've practiced more and tried to play more than I ever have.
And he's at Bear Creek, so that's a good place to practice.
Yeah. I think I'm the best golfer I've ever been, like right now.
What's your handicap?
It's a 6 right now. That's probably that's a 6 is good. Like I can put a round together to drop me down into the 4s, and that's where things get really bad for me. I get all my money taken from me. But I think I'm a solid 6. Like I think I can play as a 6. I am a 6. Where 2 years ago, if I would have done that, I'd be like, getting into a 6 would be scary.
Yeah, it's fun. If you can get single digits, that's where it's fun.
Yeah,
For sure. You can break 80 every now and then. You know, it's a good time.
yeah.
For sure. Win some money. You don't get popped to death.
Liam's a 6, but his handicap says 12.
That is not true. I'm a 9, and I'm a true 9. I'm the only one in this building who posts.
Me? I post every time. I'm legit. Every score's real.
Yeah.
I think you guys are on the opposite end of the table.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about that. Well, we do have another segment, again, presented by the Transfusion. It's called Dream Foursome. So if you could play with any 3 other people, dead or alive, who would it be? We've had some good ones, too.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to throw Anthony Bourdain in that. I don't even know if he golfs.
Oh, I love that one.
But just like to hang with him and like, you know, the stories and like the back talk would be unbelievable. I've always loved Arnie. I think just the way he carried himself, his sweater game, his forearms, the way like Arnold Palmer, you know, is kind of like what we'd imagine, I think, today is like Jordan Spieth. Like the dude could go out and get on a streak of winning 6 tournaments, but also take a 13 on a hole just because he's like trying to like hit it from between 2 rocks and he just thinks he can. And I just love that mentality, especially when it comes to golf. And then, so I've got those 2. Do I get to include myself?
Yeah,
or?
you got to be so 3.
Yeah, I'm in it. And then finally, I think playing with Tiger. I mean, I think he's probably going to fall into everyone's. It's such a boring answer. But I think just seeing him hit the ball, I've played with a few buddies who've played with Tiger, and the way they talk about him, even like as of recently, like just the way he hits the ball, what it sounds like, how high it flies, how soft it lands, what he can do around the greens. Like I just think that'd be fun. And if I'm going to get to pick who I play with, I have to probably pick, you know, the best golfer in my generation.
Especially if you could pick like prime Tiger.
Yeah.
You play 2001 Tiger.
Imagine.
See what I mean, it's just crazy.
How do you play with Tiger? Which of your buddies like played around with Tiger?
Harrison was on his like foundations board for a while. Yeah. So, he's played with him a bunch, and
That'd be sweet.
you know, you get invited to some secretive, like exclusive trip, and Tiger shows up like you've done
Michael
before.
Jordan.
Yeah.
You just all of a sudden show up and there's Tiger, and you're playing golf alongside of him, and then you know there's guys. If Tiger plays in a PGA event, I think he has now like every PGA Tour player has just like a few times a year where they don't have to play in the Pro-Am, but you only get a few. Maybe Tiger has gotten an exemption where he never has to do one. But I imagine that Tiger still has to play in some Pro-Ams every year when he plays on
sponsors
the PGA.
and stuff.
And so like sometimes you can buy Tiger. You get to play with him. I've gotten to play with some PGA guys like Rahm in a Pro-Am event. And it's just fun. Like, 'cause it's just different. Like
Sounds different.
It sounds different. It looks different. Everything is like, they swing so, like everything's the tempo, just the way they get up and down a course is beautiful. So honestly, anytime I get to play with a guy that's a pro, it fires me up.
When did you play with Rahm? What year?
Man, that was the BMW. It was held in Chicago. I want to say that was like 2019, 18 or 19.
Okay.
He was young. He was like not even top 20 yet. He was an up and comer.
Yeah.
I just remember I always talk about this. He does wild things. But I remember we were on a par 5, and he was 295 out. And I was standing next to him, and he's actually a good supporter of Generous Coffee still to this day.
Oh, that's cool.
He's a good dude. But he was 295 out. He put his ball into the rough off the tee, and he and his caddy were talking. Obviously, a pro-am, they're just getting prepped for the next day. And he's like, okay, this is a spot I could definitely be. This wasn't a bad shot. I just went through the fairway. It was just buried. I mean, I was just standing over, and I'm like, it's buried. He gets a 3-wood out. He's like, I'm going to see if I can get it there. And he hits it. And like you said, it sounds like a shotgun going off. And he hits it to like 15 foot.
Jeez.
That's crazy.
From 295 with a 3-wood out of the rough. And I was like, this is a different ball game. Like, this is the difference between a plus 13 and a 6 handicap. I look at that, I'm like, I'm taking a 58 degree and getting it somewhere up there so I can get on in 4. They're incredible. I think they're just like so spectacular to play with.
So going off that, who has been your favorite foursome so far?
Goodness. I think that day, I got to play with like some golf influencers and Rom, and Kisner. And so that was a fun day for me. That was a 5-some, for this pro-am. And it was, the tournament did it to like video it. That was just a blast, for me. I also, last year I played an event in Maine, and I randomly got paired with David Wells and Roger Clemens. And we're in this tournament. It's a tournament that we're all competing in. And my dad was always my caddy. And we were kind of like, you know, they were nice guys, but like we weren't adding much to the conversation that they were having. And they start talking about old Yankee days. And the two of them are just going at it. Like they don't even really know that we're listening, but they start like reminiscing on these old Yankee stories about like Steinbrenner and, you know, all the old dudes from the past. And it was like, my dad and I spent 18 holes just being like, this is incredible. Yeah. Like these are like unfiltered. Yeah. They're not mic'd up, just like two buddies talking about like, I forget the exact story, but I think it was, you know, Wells started talking about his perfect game with Clemens. You know, the big story is Wells was like blackout drunk, doesn't remember pitching a perfect game. Really? Yeah. And then Clemens is like 1,000 strikeout or something. Wells stole the ball from the clubhouse and still had it. That's funny. And Clemens at this point knew it, but like it just was like it was the coolest stories, and it just makes you love sports more because sometimes you watch it and it's hard to. I think for me, it almost feels like reality television. Like, can I believe this or not? And then you hear them telling stories. You're like, oh, this is just like they were mad at each other. They were, you know, emotional. It was awesome.
That's funny. That's cool.
I always think about this, talking about how good like Rom is, seeing it in person, how he hits the ball. Do you think golf is like the biggest skill gap between a pro and a great player in sports? Yeah. I think it's probably got to be. Because like you, I would call you a great golfer in an average, in an average world. Yeah. But you put yourself in a PGA event, you are fucked.
Oh yeah.
But like 100%. In terms of, you know, soccer or maybe another sport, you could probably get by, but golf, I feel like that skill gap is just probably the biggest in sports.
Well, it's a small to be at that level. Like NBA basketball, there's like 450 NBA players that have $1 million or more contract. Golf, it's 125 people. That's it. Like those are the top golfers, and if you're 126, you're relegated to like software code writer in the basement. I mean, that's like the level you're at. So the discrepancy is, and it's so. I would say it's like. I'm probably closer to a PGA Tour player than maybe like an average basketball player is to like a pro basketball player. But like that level, that is so finite. Like 0.2 shots, you know, around is a huge difference. I don't know. I think it's just like so hard to reach that pro level. Versus like, who's Brian Scalabrine? Remember he said, he's like, I'm closer to LeBron than you are to me. Yeah. You know? There's like a huge gap. And so there's a big gap in pro basketball when he gets to do those challenges.
You can also hide. I mean,
that's what I was going to say.
It's team sports are different because you can get out there and hide, and not every play is focused on you. I think golf, the thing that would make a difference is it's an individual sport. So everything's looking at you. I would also argue, though, that golf is the most accessible sport. Like, I can't play in the NBA. Like, there's zero path for me to play in the NBA or the NFL, like, at this point in my life. But there is a path I could play on the PGA Tour. Like, you know, I think that's why golf has such, like, legs and momentum is because even your 6 handicaps, step on the first tee thinking today's the day I could shoot 62.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
Yeah.
Because, you get on a heater and all of a sudden you can join Q school, you can play, you can US Open qualify, you can do all these things to one day be, in the professional game, even though those things are not actually ever going to happen, but you believe they might because,
Definitely more accessible.
accessible.
For sure.
Technically, I could play in the Masters next year,
Yeah.
for the USAM, win the USAM or the Mid-Am, and go play in the Masters.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
You know?
think about Ryan. Like when he did the was that
yeah.
the USAM?
Mid-Am.
You got to tell them that Mid-Am. You got to tell them that real quick because
Yeah.
he's an amazing golfer, but you can see the difference. It's
Yeah, my buddy,
unreal.
he's an unbelievable golfer. Hits the ball hard, far, long. He's like 6'5". Really, really amazing golfer. So he qualified, and he's played in like 5 or 6 USGA events, from the USAM to the Mid-Am to the 4-ball. Really good. I mean, not playing in like your kitty lick weekend tournament. This is like USGA events. So he goes and he qualifies for the US Mid-Am. He shoots 67, medalist, 5 under, no bogeys in Colorado. So he gets to go to the Mid-Am. He's going to hate that I'm telling this story, but and it's down at Troon in Scottsdale, and he plays a practice round, and he's like good. And he gets to the first tee, and he's like, I lost my game. And he's like mental. I mean, he's mental. Yeah. And he's hitting, and I had this at like Estes Park this year. You hit this big high, don't go right, and you hit this big high push cut.
Yeah.
You're thinking about it. And then you hit a duck hook. I pump 2 OB. He's doing that on every hole. He shoots, 91 in the opening round. And guys here are now thinking like, and he's playing with a former champion who's played in the Masters. He's playing with a guy who's won the Mid-Am. And these guys, he's like, these guys have to think like I cheated to get into. Now he's got that thought. in his
Yeah.
head, like this guy's not real. He cheated to get into here. What's his game? He gets to the second round. He shoots like 54 on the front 9, and gets to 13, and he's out of balls. And he's like, I brought 24 balls with me, like thinking just to get through this. He's out of balls, and in the USGA events, they have a 1-ball rule. So you can't go from like a Pro V1X to a Pro V1 or a Strixon to a Titleist. Not only that, if you're playing a Pro V1 from 2023, you have to play the Pro V1 from 2023. You can't play Pro V1 2024. So it's like, so he couldn't borrow a ball, and he's like, I have to. He's like, you guys are probably happy I'm leaving, but I got to WD.
my God.
But like total mental. And then he goes out and plays Fox Hill, his first round back, has a hole in one. For his 5th hole in one, shoots 68.
Yeah.
Like it's just mental.
It's
so he
crazy.
just mental block on a guy that good.
Golf's probably the most mental sport, I think, too.
Oh, it's crazy.
For sure.
If we were playing a PGA Tour event, you guys go shoot 74 with your buddies. I don't think any of us with 1,000 people watching you can
Hell no.
break. I couldn't break 90. I'd be so nervous.
Oh yeah.
You played in front of some pretty big crowds.
Yeah, my
What's
first.
your
Well,
craziest
he's used to
crowd?
it. You guys are used to it. You're
I don't know if I'm used to
reality
it.
different,
stars.
though. It's
You're
golf is
celebrities.
Dude, it's a whole process for me. No matter what. So like Tahoe, for example, was my first like time with people watching me play golf. I top 2 off the first tee, and I was so nervous. And so on the bus back, I'm just mad at myself. Mm-hmm. Like, what happened? And Jeremy Roenick is sitting in the seat on the bus next to me, and he's like, I got you tomorrow. He's like, come to my locker at 8:00. Okay, I come to his locker. He opens up his locker. He has a tequila bottle. He gives me 2 shots of tequila. He goes, you're ready now. But now when I play in these things, the first tee is like it's weird. Like you forget how to pull the club back.
Oh yeah.
And the club feels super either heavy or light. There's no like feel to it. There's no like rhythm to it. Your heart's racing. I still take 2 shots of tequila before every round. But my mindset now, and I mean, goodness, golf is amazing. Like I go to the range, I hit golf balls, I visualize my first tee shot, I hit 5 like I want to on the first tee, and then I get up there, and you're still so nervous, and you still shake. It still happens every time. But honestly, if I'm playing with like my buddies in any type of like game on a Saturday morning, like that first tee shot still feels different. Like I
agree.
still nerve-wracking.
I think even the first hole, like I'm just trying to get through the first
Yeah.
hole. You know?
Sets the tone.
It
I
does.
par the first hole. I'm like, this is it. This is
Yeah.
my 62.
It's amazing what the mind can do. It's also why it's impressive what the pros do. It's when they announce your name, though, I think that adds a level of like flair. It's like Ben Higgins season 20 of The Bachelor, and then you're like, oh god, you know.
Well, it's like Russell Henley in the Ryder Cup with that bunker shot, and
Yeah.
he's got
yeah.
a terrible putt, but like to hit that bunker shot to 10 feet, and then I mean he left it short, which is crazy against Shane Lowry. But that's an unbelievable shot.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
See, him drinking tequila, that's why I needed drinks at the Corn Ferry. That reason right there.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
didn't get it, and I fell apart.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, because it was closed in Utah. We sent you to the wrong state. Any other state? Like,
I had a chance. If it was in a
Shooting at
different
62.
state, I had a chance.
yeah,
But I got screwed over.
yeah,
there, for
exactly.
sure.
So, talk to us real quick about Generous Coffee because obviously we're doing the collab. It's going
Yeah.
to be really fun. We've got a coffee coming out for Pins and Aces that everyone will be able to grab. But what's the backstory with Generous Coffee? We kind of know about it, but for the people listening or watching, what's the story on it?
Yeah, the high level overview is when I was a teenager, I went to Central America for the first time. And a couple buddies and I became very passionate about helping people and not hurting people through some type of aid. So the organization that we started when I was like 20 years old is called Humanity and Hope United. And the whole concept of it is we ask people in these communities, what do you need? What do you want? What do you dream of? And how can we help?
You started that when you were 20?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
And it was going really well. It was growing. But the problem is I was 20, the guy who's really the founder, operated as the president for years, is still the co-president. He was 24, but we were trying to fundraise through our like network, and like none of us have any friends with money. And so it became this like really just like grind of a process to try to not only help, but also try to have the funds to help. Long story short, I went on The Bachelor and was really like trying to figure out my way through this process where everybody tells you got to stay relevant. I'm going to all these events. And I called one of my best friends and I said, man, I am so lonely. Like, I love what The Bachelor's done. I love some of the paydays that The Bachelor brings. I love the opportunities The Bachelor has for me, but I am doing this all alone. I'm so lonely. And I said, I just got to figure out like how to make this something of my own. And he said, what if this is never meant to be about you? What if this has always been about something greater than you? And so I sat on that for a bit and I was like, you know what I've always loved? I've always loved this organization out of Central America that's existed now in my life at that point for 6 years. What if I can use this platform handed to me to do something different? And so we started brainstorming, went on a trip, went to a coffee farm. Coffee has a lot of injustice through the supply chain. And so we brought back and we were like, let's sell coffee. We think we can find our niche. A lot of people drink coffee. And then let's all agree to donate 100% of the profits to nonprofits, which means I don't take a salary, which means any other owners don't take salaries, which means we don't get any distributions. What if this is like a passion project to grow this for-profit business and donate everything away to fund organizations that are kind of like where ours was at, that need access to new funds, more funds and continue to accomplish their goals. So we're 8 years in. $250,000 donated is how we're going to close this quarter up to date. 35 organizations that we've partnered with. And so when this collaboration came about, I know you guys have a heart for causes around our area. And so we said, okay, let's use your network and the people that are passionate about Pins and Aces to promote this product that's going to be giving back, that's also going to be getting something cool in the hands of the consumer. And then coffee, which is something that so many people obviously drink before they tee off or just in the mornings. And then we can do something really powerful with it by giving the money to some organizations in need. And so we designed a coffee bag, as you said. We'd have the breakfast ball blend that we've put together, and then some other cool products coming with it. So that's Generous. That's who we are. We're just kind of a coffee company that you can use to try to fundraise for causes and needs that are near and dear to people's hearts.
Cool. Yeah, and Pins and Aces, for any Pins and Aces product that we're making, the hoodie, this valuables pouch, ball markers, 100% of those profits will be donated as well. So, yeah, we're really looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
Really cool.
Yeah.
I think this bag's awesome. Like,
That's awesome. I love the beans.
yeah, it's super fun.
You gotta have. I mean, you get these little valuables pouches. I think they're. I put like balls, tees. You know, you have different ones, but people have like a light bag. You put your phone or your wallet in there so it doesn't scratch. It's like I don't know. I like them. I think they're cool.
good.
A lot of
sure.
people like them. So
Well, it's still a bunch of them.
Yeah,
agreed.
Exactly. I think we will. I think it'll be cool. So when this comes out, it'll probably be what 3 or 4 weeks until you can buy that. Maybe less.
No, this should be coming out. Like this is launching ASAP.
Okay.
So by the time this podcast is out, these should be available.
All right. Cool.
Cool.
Yeah. So definitely go to Pins and check that out. Well, we got another segment here presented by the Transfusion. Mulligan moment. So if you could redo something, could be in your personal life, could be your reality, golf, whatever it would be. If you could take a mulligan in your life, what would it be?
Oh man, that's such a big question.
I know it's kind of a tough one.
Yeah, I
Meeting Eric at the Highland Tavern Bar.
yeah. Goodness, I could go deep with this, which would probably just like really throw the vibe off.
Throw it off.
Yeah, I think for me, one of the first ones that come to mind. Right out of college, I moved to Peru, and I was supposed to be down there like for perpetuity to teach English, and I was dating this girl back in Indiana, and I about 6 months in like had a panic attack, like I need to get back to see her, and we broke up like 3 days later. Once I got back, she had like pretty much forgotten that we were together. I think I was crazy. I wish I would have stayed in Peru a little longer and like gone and like had more fun. Because my 20s, going back to what we were talking about, my 20s were so short. Like I really didn't get to have that much fun after my time as the Bachelor. It was stressful. I came off the Bachelor, was in a relationship, did a whole TV show about that. Maybe that would have been one too. I would have chosen Dancing with the Stars over filming a stupid like freeform show.
With the Stars?
It was like kind of one or the other.
What? Was Dancing with the Stars
Really?
big then though? Was it like
Oh,
as
yeah.
not as big
Yeah.
as it was? Really?
Yeah, it was probably. I mean, it was huge back then. That was like
shit.
that was Bergeron was still the host.
Yeah.
That was pre Tyra.
Oh wow, I didn't know that was maybe a possibility.
Well, but we had signed this contract for this freeform show, and so maybe I would have like had a little more foresight and been like, this show's gonna be awful, and I'm gonna just do Dance with the Stars because it will be good for everybody. But yeah, those two things I would do differently.
Okay. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we got one more segment to finish this off. Caddy advice. If you could give someone advice, caddies obviously give great advice on the course, but could be anything in your life. If you could give someone else advice, what would it be?
My prayer every night right now, with a daughter, with my wife, with traveling so much, is be where my feet are. That's my advice. It's been right now. It was advice given to me like 5 years ago. As stuff was chaotic, swirling, work's busy for everybody, right? Life's busy. And he said, you just got to start being where your feet are. And so like my prayer every night is for me to be where my feet are. And then also when I sit down at my desk or if I want to walk my dog, like I tangibly tap my feet to remind myself where my feet are so I can be in the moment, be present, because I'm always scatterbrained. And that'd be my advice. It's helped slow life down. There's very few days now that feel like I wake up, maybe go work out or something, and all of a sudden it's like 6 o'clock. I'm like, where did the day go? Like it feels like it just like slows it down enough for me to enjoy the moments around me.
That's good advice.
Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something I need to work on too as well. I mean, everybody does.
Everybody.
Nobody's
Yeah.
present these days, man. It's hard to be present these days.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So.
Definitely.
Well, awesome, Ben. Appreciate you coming on, man.
Thanks for
Fun
having
talking
me.
Golf and life with you, absolutely. Everyone out there, please like, subscribe, and comment, and please go to Closed Course on Instagram and follow us. We're gonna be dropping some little discounts, some Black Friday stuff coming up, things like that. So keep an eye out. Follow us at Closed Course, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys.
Thank you.